This is a 1996 Yamaha Blaster 200 two-stroke machine. As you guys saw, I took it for the first ride there, and it starts up and idles just fine. Smokes a ton, but I was going full throttle around that circle. So obviously something's not right. It's super boggy, has zero power. The guy I bought it from said it was just rebuilt, and he said he looked at it and couldn't get it fixed. So I don't know what's going on with this thing. A couple different things we could check. A couple common problems with the Blasters are the crank seals. Maybe a crank seal is blown. This thing could have an air leak, really bad air leak, a blown head gasket. But yeah, it almost sounds like air is being sucked in from somewhere. But yeah, or a clog in the air filter, or a clog in the pipe. Something along those lines where it's just lacking power completely. But yeah, it starts up all day, idles all day. You can see a little oil coming out of the pipe, so it's like not burning off completely. But yeah, it looks really, really nice. So this thing's really, really nice actually. It's got the, I think it's the DG grab bar and bumper on it. Tires are pretty nice on it yet. Really clean, the plastics are all there, complete. Nothing wrong with it at all that I can see. Let's take a look underneath the seat and just kind of check out the air filter. I bought this thing for $1,000, so I mean, look at everything's here. Looks really, really good. We'll have to check out the air filter. The oil pump is still working supposedly and hooked up. So I don't know what is wrong with this thing. We're gonna have to dig into it to find out, but I'm kind of suspecting either a crank seal or an air leak coming from somewhere. So we'll have to see. I'll start it up for you guys here quick. You can hear it idle up close, and then we'll start digging into it. Does nothing. Tons of white smoke. There's an air leak right there. Alright, you can see it's smoking just a ton. There's an air leak right here. Pretty big one. You can see it spitting out stuff. It's actually leaking from there as well. So that probably doesn't help. It looks like, I think this is a switch for the Taurs. And that's not hooked up, so that might be a problem as well. Let's just try to quick bypass this. I'm going to put an alligator clip on both of those and just see if that makes a difference. I know the Taurs, if that's off, it'll cause big problems. So let's try to just put the alligator clip on there. Just see what happens. These Taurs on these machines are always a big issue. They cause all sorts of problems. A lot of people bypass them. I believe that's what the switch is for. Let's just kind of see here. Do anything. Maybe we're hooked to the wrong wires here. I think those are coming from the carburetor. We might have to take off the gas tank and take a closer look. We gotta find those wires. It looks like it was bypassed up here, because usually the wires would go into the throttle body right there. So we'll have to take a look and see where those lead to. I don't see any wires up here. Let's see, the coil is right there. We'll take a look at the airbox too. That could be plugged up. But I guess first things first, we'll fix the air leak. We'll look for these wires, and then we'll look at the airbox. Looks good. Just a standard air filter in there. So I don't think that would be causing the problem. We'll take that off just in case there's something underneath there. Yeah, that's all clear in there. So air filter checks out. That is not the problem. Alright, access to everything here. Alright, doesn't look like there's any wires going to this thing. I thought there should be. We'll have to look at the diagram. So there's this wire right here that was supposed to connect into here, I believe. We'll have to kind of check it out and see what's going on. Maybe wires got cut from something. But I'm pretty sure that's supposed to have something of wires connecting to it. And I think this connects to the CDI, pretty sure, to limit something. And that's kind of what it's sounding like. Like it's loading up big time. Alright, well that's interesting. The line for the carburetor, the drain bowl, right there, that was up, and there's gas like halfway up. So I put that line back down and a bunch of gas is drained out. So obviously gas is just flowing right out of the carburetor. So that's not good. It's almost like the float is getting stuck or something. So we're gonna take out the carburetor and investigate that. That seems kind of weird. And then we'll fix the air leak while we're in there, because there's a big air leak right here. Alright, we got the carburetor out. Maybe nope, slide was in correctly. Thought maybe the slide was in incorrectly, but that's looking pretty good. Something's going on though. We'll figure it out. It's definitely getting gas. There's a bunch of gas in there. Let's see here. Alright, so gas was just pouring out of the carburetor. So something's definitely going on with it. Either broken, oh man, or stuck. These screws are tough to get out. There we go. Alright, let's see what's going on in here. Alright, that looks pretty clean. So that screw just out right here? Nope. It's float stuck. Doesn't look like the float stuck. That's weird. Maybe it's not shutting off the gas though. Let's just see what happens when you pour some gas in here. Maybe it just leaks out. Let's see, does it just leak out? No. So that's holding gas. It just must be getting too much fuel. It's leaking out of here. So it must be getting fuel above that mark, which it's not supposed to be. So it's like flooding it. So we'll investigate further. I have a feeling that the float isn't shutting off the gas. Let's see. Pour it a little bit down here. Looks like it's shutting it off. Seems like it's shutting it off. Alright, so here's the needle seat, and there's that little O-ring. If that O-ring is bad, gas can just go right through it. So it wouldn't have anything to do with the needle shutting it off. It would be going by that O-ring, and that looks pretty worn to me. Look how it doesn't protrude out the sides. So we're going to replace that O-ring, and I think that's going to solve our leaking gas problem. Alright, I found another problem. So I took this out of here, and that was in the wrong way. So that groove is supposed to line up with the pin right in there. You can see the pin going in. That pin was broken off. So what I did was pound it in more. It was like halfway out. I pounded it in more, so now that groove will line up with that pin, and this will be in the right way. So that was another problem I found with the carburetor. And for the main, we are running a 230. Alright, pilot jet was a 32.5. Tiny guy. Alright, so there was a gasket on both sides of the reed cage. You can see there's one right there. And then I've got a brand new one here we're going to put right here. But we're going to be using a little bit of gasket maker as well, just to seal that up a little bit better. Edge of here. Because this is where it was leaking from. Not really sure why, but we don't need it leaking. Alright, put this on there. Put a little bit on this side as well. Reinstall that and see if it still leaks here. Alright, carburetor is back on, gas tank drained. Gas no longer leaks. Let's see what happens when we start it up now. Let's see if it revs out. Definitely revs out more. I'll give it that. I think it's pulling on the throttle cable though. Sounds pretty good. Fixed. Alright, so I think the carburetor was the issue. I think it was just flooding out and not allowing it to rev out. Plus, that pin was in the wrong position, so I think that really fixed it. Yeah, so let's see if it starts right back up again. And I don't have any oil mixed in the gas, and it seems to be running pretty good. It's still smoking. Alright, headlight works too, so let's go take it for a ride around the yard and see if it revs out. It revs out all the way. Runs pretty good. Alright, so this thing is fixed. It runs great. It has tons of power. So we are going to fix up a couple more things, make it look pretty, and then this thing will be done. So the back brake doesn't work right now. Doesn't do anything. Oh, maybe it does. Oh, back brake does work. I just wasn't pushing hard enough. Oh, sweet. Tires are a little wobbly, so we're gonna tighten up those nuts right there. We gotta paint the pipe, high temp paint. Brake's a little sticky though. See how sticky that is? Front brakes work good. And then the lights work, everything else works, so we'll check the oil and make sure there's enough oil in there. Alright, back brake is working. Got the pipe painted up there, and then I painted up the foot pegs with the color that matches the frame. So everything's looking pretty good. This had to have been probably the easiest fix I've ever had in my life. Basically just fix the carburetor and that fixed the problem. Alright, let's change out the oil here. Down here it was 12 millimeter. So it should just come right out now. See how much was in there. Interesting color. Doesn't look too bad. No metal shavings or anything so far. We'll let the drain out, and then we'll add, what was it, 650 milliliters. So at least the oil didn't look too bad. So bottom end should be good. Alright, there really wasn't that much oil in it. I don't think that was 650 milliliters in there. It's kind of like a green color. Kind of interesting. But let's get the fresh oil in there. It likes that. Alright, oil change is done. All ready to go ride. Alright, made her out here. A little windy today, but should be fine. Let's get this thing unloaded and see how she runs. Alright, here we go. First ride in the Blaster. We might have to do a break-in ride because I believe this is a brand new piston and top end on this thing. So we'll take it easy first couple minutes. Go through the gears slow. And it's smoking a lot more now. I had the line like halfway off for the oil on the carburetor, so hook that back up and seems good to go now. Just kind of braking around here. Pretty peppy. We're in third gear right now. One more lap of braking and then we'll let her cool down and then we can go hard after that. Just want to make sure those rings seat properly. Feels pretty good though. Everything's working perfectly. Clutch is nice. Shift's nice. Let her cool down a little bit here. Alright, no leaking at all. We are done with the first initial break-in. And I'm not sure if the guy broke it in when he rebuilt it or not. So, we're just taking it easy. This ride we're going to go pretty much all out. So, without further ado, let's do her. up for a little bit. Until it starts smoking here. There we go. This thing's fast and fun. Woohoo! Alright, second braking ride done. We were going full throttle there. That was going pretty good. It might be mixed a tad rich, but that's okay, it's better than blowing it up. See how she does. Not smoking yet. There she comes. This thing is really fast. You think you're out of gears and then you just go up one more and it keeps on going. Alright, first ride on this thing is done. Went perfectly, no issues whatsoever, no leaks. Runs perfect. Oh, I think this thing is all good to go. It was the carburetor all along. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video on this thing. We fixed this thing up in probably, what, 10 minutes to take apart the carburetor, fix it. So didn't take much time. I bought it for $1,000 and probably worth like $2,000 now, right around there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned for next one. Until next time, we are out.